ban people all day, like fucking Captain America. Ugh.
There we go. Okay.
It's like I was never gone.
Smooth, David. Smooth.
Save for all the shit y'all were presumably talking.
No,
All right,
just,
so,
just about this Wild Arms Fam 2 guy. But anyways,
Yeah, anyway, no discussing banned people on the pod.
all right, guys. So who's got some answers for me?
There we go.
John says Twin B2, which is incorrect. Jesse and David both say Wise, which is correct. I don't know if,
Wise.
if this
I've-
is
By
it-
David Wise.
I've
Is
heard it's pronounced yeez.
I was gonna say, I thought it was pronounced ease.
Yeez.
I've never had to say this game name out loud before. Like, so I really don't know.
Yeah, no, and this is beautiful, John. As I was telling our users in Discord earlier when they
I saw
requested
that.
like East 8, I'm like, yeah, listen, man, Falcom's a huge blind spot for this group. So highly unlikely we're ever going to talk about East on the show. And you go and pick an East. So, or a Wise, as it were. Do we have the ability to put up a poll? Is it Wise or is it East?
How do you pronounce this game? YS or YS?
There we go.
Oh, Jesus. Y apostrophe S? So,
But yes, this
go
is,
for it, John.
This is Ease, the Vanished Omen. I chose the Sega Master System version. It was originally released for the PC 88 or 8801 or whatever it's called, and then ported to basically everything that existed in Japan at the time. And I believe the only US releases were the Master System and DOS versions. Oh, and also an Apple II version. Soundtrack composed by Yuzo Koshiro, also known as the composer of Street Fighter and other, or not Street Fighter,
Whoa.
Streets of Rage.
Whoa.
Streets of Rage.
How
You've been
dare
listening
you
to other
take away
podcasts?
the accomplishments of Yoko Shimomura?
Just go ahead and game over me now.
No. It's all right. Just, say everything you just said again, but say it like you fucking care about it, John. You're like, yeah, and Yuzo Koshiro, also known as the composer of Street. Like, no. Fucking sell it, John. Give it some oomph.
Also known as the composer of some like street game. Or...
Yeah. Act Gazer. Something like that.
Yuzo Koshiro, composer of Streets of Rage, one of the best soundtracks ever made for the Sega Genesis, and I think this is probably one of the best soundtracks on the Master System. Not that there's too many, but no, you know what? It's a great soundtrack. One of the best soundtracks, not just on the Master System, any console. This soundtrack is amazing. It's got a lot of great, rich melodies I really like they're not too simple. There's a little bit of complexity mixed in there. I believe the Japanese version, I almost pulled it. The Japanese version had like an FM chip on the cart or something like that and has like a pretty different sound going on. Yeah. So I'll have to go look that up and give that a listen. And yeah.
I like it, man. So, yeah, I would never have guessed that this was a Master System soundtrack.
Yeah, because none of us played the Master System.
That's amongst the reasons, but also just, like I was saying about, fucking like Jun Ishikawa, like, you got to program the sounds and, I wouldn't think that anybody could make the Master System chip sing like that. So I would, I should know that Yuzo Koshiro is capable of anything when it comes to programming a great song. But I that was not yelling Master System to me. So I great pick, man.
Yeah.
And now tell us all your favorite things about the game, East. Whatever the subtitle is,
Bump
The Vanishing
Combat.
Omens.
Bump
What happened to
combat is
those
pretty
omens?
sweet. They vanished, and that's the issue.
Oh my god!
That's
So you're going around, you're collecting omens?
I'm not sure because you know what I do love about this game is it's a precursor to RPGs that emphasize storytelling. It's an RPG without a lot of storytelling, which is what I want out of an RPG. I want very little story. I want bump combat. I want to just run around, not really care what I'm doing. It harkens back to your issue, John, about games that never come out in the US. Like they don't need to do a whole lot of translation on these things. There's not that much. You don't need a lot of detail. You don't need a lot of story. You'll figure it out. You know.
Right.
And that's why I like it. You just kind of go in and you're just like, yeah, I'm just going. All right. Like, what's going on? I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Right. Not important. Just keep whacking them, get that experience. That's kind of RPG I like. Not really, but it seems like kind of RPG I would have liked at one point in life. So
I am very intrigued by bump combat.
ooh.
Maybe we can
Yes.
talk about it later, David.
It's
Hey.
just
I
imagine.
hope so.
Imagine Joust, but you're on the ground.
Oh, damn.
Johnny, are you describing sex right now?
And
I frequently have giant flying ostrich monsters when I have sex.
I thought he meant just the not joust the game. I was thinking just joust, like just imagine
With dick.
bumping two
penis.
poles together, but on the ground. Like, oh, all right, word. I live on the ground, man. I can imagine this.
I can relate. That speaks
That's
to
not
me.
that crazy of a thing to imagine.
I think we just found a great T-shirt idea. I live on the ground.
I live on the ground, motherfucker.
I can relate to this.
I can relate to all games that feature a ground.
Oh, I thought your T-shirt idea was just like the knights in Joust, but their lances are giant penises.
Yes,
That
and it
too.
says I live on the ground.
Yeah.
It makes sense to someone. Awesome. So anyway, Johnny, how many of the games in this long-running series have you played? You obviously you're now Mr. Falcom around here. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcom.
I love all the
Um,
Falcom games.
Yes. Tell me one more.
Nope, I'm not gonna do that. Am I on trial here?
I mean, I respect I respect the move, man. Hell of a move. Yeah. The only way to play that game is not to win, or only way to win that game is not to play. Yeah. So
Just the
cool.
sheer suddenness. Describe another one. No.
Yeah,
Not gonna do it.
No,
I feel like it.
seriously, I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying to our guys in Discord when I said that Falcom is a huge blind spot for us. So I am very surprised that mere moments later this is on the show. So Johnny,
Oh, God.
you're
It's just I came
You're gonna have to-
Heard.
I came into this for Kuzo Yushiro. I didn't come in for any other reason.
Kuzo Yoshiro,
whoa,
everybody.
dude, another
Kuzo
take.
Yoshiro.
What the fuck, man?
You know what I meant? Yuzo
Okay,
Koshiro.
if you didn't earn a game
wasn't
over
that
sound
sure.
before, you damn sure earned one now.
Yuzu Koshiro. I know
God,
the
man.
name. I just sometimes my brain mixes up the letters before I say things.
I know that's why we're doing. That's why I'm giving you a chance to do another take. Jesus, we got
Yeah.
to remember, guys. This is not just a live show. It gets turned into a podcast. You can fucking fix, strange things you say. That said, I'm not editing that out. So,
So yeah, I
So,
came into
anyway.
this for Yuzo Koshiro, not for
Okay.
ease. I really don't know the series, to be honest. I looked up Yuzo Koshiro. I looked up good soundtracks. I found this. I thought it was a great soundtrack from an
Bingo.
underappreciated system, or maybe a perfectly appreciated system. Maybe it's not a very good system.
properly.
I think it's a great system. And I'm
So,
interested
yeah.
to hear the ports, like the other soundtracks and how they came out. I'm very interested in doing that because this is a game where Yuzo Koshiro is listed as the composer on every single port, I believe, except the Famicom version. I think that one is pretty different musically.
Okay.
So, I like to
So
see how-
just different versions based on chipsets.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, maybe I can come with a YouTube channel, like comparing, soundtracks that get ported to multiple consoles or something.
Maybe I could set up like a radio station on YouTube to stream these songs along with a couple others. Put a little Yuzo, some Kuzo in that mix. Just spitballing here.
I love Kuzo
I will
Yoshiro.
say, on the subject
shall
of
be- Your nickname henceforth on the show, John Regan, is officially the Kuzo Yoshiro of Game That Tune.
I will say, just speaking about the music and Ys as a series and how much we don't know about it, I don't know hardly anything. However, the boss song, Mighty Obstacle from Ys 6, is possibly one of the greatest video game songs I have ever heard. Like, that song is fucking incredible.
Cool. I love a ringing endorsement for something I have no idea what it is. So that is the kind of recommendation that I and our listeners need to go seek out excellent video game music. So thank you for that, David. Johnny, anything else on this fantastic game from this fantastic composer?
Yes.
Go on.
Game 5.
That's what I thought.
Whoops. Sorry.
This game, in Japan, it is one of the few titles that was designed for use with the Famicom 3D system. So, like, you could like flip a switch and the game would be in 3D. Oh man, how you guys feeling?
Frustrated.
David looks
Good.
ready. All right, let's see what you guys got. Johnny says Mortal Kombat on the NES, incorrect. John says Marble Madness, incorrect. And David with the correct answer, Rad Racer. Oh yeah. This is Rad Racer, composed by this dude
By
Nobu Uematsu.
Yep, I should have known on our big composer show you would pick Uematsu. Because Marble Madness was David Wise. That was why I picked that. And also, it seems like a game that would make sense to be 3D. But yeah, damn it. I knew that Uematsu got his start in something weird. So,
Nobu Uematsu. Why do I know that name?
Final Fantasy and stuff like that.
No,
he's a famous
not-
composer.
Oh, the guy who composed Smash Brothers Brawl theme song? Okay, I got you now.
Yeah, him too.
The very same. That's the guy. Definitely has a style that he has gone on to have defined his career, and it got its start at Rad Racer. He's definitely when you think Uematsu, you think Rad Racer.
It was Square's answers to Sega's Outrun, and
Was it an answer?
and
to
we all
Outrun?
remember and love it.
well, you could play it in 3D in Japan. So Outrun couldn't do that.
Yeah, John, in your
Also,
face.
Also, you could use the Power Glove to steer, as seen in the 1990 classic The Wizard.
Ooh.
Oh man.
That's the game that fucking Lucas plays, and he's like, "I love the Power Glove. It's so bad."
It's so bad.
Man, see if they had known what game he was playing, he should have said it's so rad. Like they could have sold
Maybe-
1 million copies of
Maybe
this
that
right
was
then.
maybe that was the script, and he just mispronounced it, and nobody caught
Yeah.
it.
I mean, Lucas was
Yeah.
an idiot, so
That's true. He was not.
I mean,
cool.
to be fair, that's the one error in The Wizard.
Yes, exactly. A famously airtight movie when it comes to goofs and just factual mistakes regarding games, their scoring systems,
I love that fucking movie.
people's abilities to pick up a game for the first time and know where a warp whistle is. The Wizard famously airtight with regard to that stuff. But no, yeah, I was gonna say I vaguely recall playing Rad Racer, and then I'm like, no, I don't. I recall playing games like this. I recall, I think the main game that I played in this, racing vein when I was a kid was Top Gear, and that was on the SNES. Definitely didn't have an NES version. So no, I don't think that I did play Rad Racer, which dare I say I don't care that I missed out on this. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
like-
a typical NES racing game,
Right. It's got a good title. Rad
Yeah,
Racer.
and good music.
Got great music.
Yeah, all these
What little there is.
all these 2D racing games, like with the fake 3D effect, like they're all fundamentally the same, right? Like you're just, moving the car left and right while the track kind of moves around you. And I've never been the biggest fan of those style racing games, really. Like I didn't really start liking racing games until like Mode 7 came around, and you got a little bit more like you could actually see curves and things up ahead as opposed to just like, oh shit, it's turning now,
Yeah, no, some of the old games do suffer from that. Top Gear definitely does, 'cause it's like, okay, yeah, the the field of view is very limited, and it's like, oh, the track's just kind of turning, and that's always where the car for you to bump into is somehow. These games were they were fuckover games. They had to have been based on like some arcade style shit. If they were trying to borrow from Outrun, then Rad Racer probably took the arcade style message and was like, yeah, just have people bump into shit, and I don't know, it's okay, nobody's gonna play this, but we really just made this so that we could secure this Nobuo fella, because I think he's got big things coming in the future. I think this kid is on to something, and it's time for us to make one last fantasy game, a Final Fantasy, as it were. We're gonna want him around for this.
Let's make one of them Dragon Quest games. That seems to do pretty good.
Yeah, all the Americans love those. Let's crank some of those out.
I think honestly, it was his mustache. Like once they saw that mustache, they're like, you know what? We need to get this guy composing more stuff.
Yeah, listen here, fella. I like the cut of your jib, and you're gonna stick around for us. So, I mean, I do love that Square back in those days, like the whole story that Final Fantasy was initially going to be like their last game because they were about to shutter like the whole thing. So, yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe if we all had supported Rad Racer a little bit more, maybe we never would have gotten Final Fantasy. Anybody ever think about
fuck
that?
that.
If Square had been making better games prior to Final Fantasy, would we have ever gotten Final Fantasy?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Would we have gotten Kingdom Hearts, but Disney crossing over with race cars?
Exactly.
And that might be good too, though.
I think maybe Disney can just make their own thing involving race cars. No. Nobody would ever go see that.
No, it'd probably be best if they pawn it off on one of their secondary studios like Pixar.
Yeah. Bitches that Pixar are.
I don't know. I thought that Sugar Rush kart game was pretty cool.
See, they really
yeah.
should have made a game out of that. If we're talking Disney-based racing games, I mean, really, if we're just going to get off on the tangent of Disney games, period, there should be some Disney games. Does Disney not own the rights to everything we're enjoying right now and just not make games of them? What the fuck's going on with them?
Actually,
Well, to wrap us back around to Square is making an Avengers game.
Yeah. Okay, so history is just... Oh man, everything's folding in on itself. This is very strange.
The snake is eating its own tail.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, to go back to our first game, Disney was making money with Disney Infinity, and then saw how much money it could make just by licensing their properties to other development studios. It's like, well, screw it. We don't want to make games. You make games based off of our stuff. So that's kind of where they're at now.
Right. I mean, good move, I guess. I don't know. I just wish they would put more licenses out there. I like Disney's things. Up until this year, I thought I liked Kingdom Hearts. I wanted more of that. They should put Disney stuff into more stuff. I want more games. That's all I'm
Sugar
saying.
Rush Kart Racer does seem like a no-brainer.
Yes, exactly. Or just any Ralph based, I don't know. There's too many good Disney like computer animated movies in the last like 10 years that don't have any related game. Like, if Zootopia had come out in 2002, there would have been a perfectly fine GameCube game to go along with it, and I want that goddamn game. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, where the fuck is it? There would have been a Frozen game that would have totally missed the mark. There would have been, all kinds of things.
There are tons of Frozen games on like the Android store of Elsa having babies and doing dentistry work to Anna. So, I mean,
I was just gonna say,
not really what I'm after.
Can you imagine like the Banjo-Kazooie style collectathon platformer based off of Tangled? I would play the fuck out of that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would too. I didn't even like Tangled, and I would play that game.
I want to play this dentist game. What is that? What?
John, of all the things to key in on, you always choose the worst thing possible. Fucking... You know what the internet is. Weird shit exists.
Well, that's why he's the Kuzo Yoshira of Game That Tune.
Really leaning into that role, god damn it. Shout out to my favorite Frozen iOS game, Frozen Freefall. It's a match 3 puzzler. Those are evergreen. You can keep making those for everything. And I've never actually spent any money to play it. Boom, in your face, company.
Suck it.
Yeah, I don't need your fucking dollars, snowflakes, you bitch.
We're gonna make this game free to play. You're goddamn right you are.
Exactly. And I'm going to free it all over this place. I'm going to fucking do it so free. It's going to take me years to complete this match 3 puzzler. Yeah. Anyway, all that is to
it's
say.
not like an Onion parody article of like some guy has completed his free to play game 23 years later.
Yeah, it's truer than life itself. That
Finally
you know,
beat that Cookie Jam.
right. Frozen came out how long ago, and that game is still installed on our iPad. Like it's still there. It comes up every now and then. But anyway, yeah, Rad Racer is cool. Thankfully, Square did right the ship and made games that people wanted to play. And that guy Uematsu, we wish him the best. I'm glad that he's the guy that he is. We'll look up what he did for David. David, he needs a refresher. So Johnny, what are we moving on to? That's 5 games. Are we moving on to the calculating computer, or did you find a way to rectify the situation from earlier? Don't say we never did nothing for you.
That was
Are we just on our own for trivia, or?
Yeah, guys, just figure it out. No, so this game, due to a combination of releasing late in the Nintendo 64's life cycle, minimal advertising, and mediocre reviews, the game has become one of the rarest titles for the console. know, the trivia fucking sucked, so I'm gonna actually just reread it, reread a different trivia thing real quick. So in almost every way, this game plays identical to its precursor. However, one notable change: the explosions are no longer circular; they are now the traditional cross shape from earlier games in the series. And that is more of a giveaway trivia.
Yeah.
And now we're resuming post thing. Okay, guys, let's see some answers. Okay, so David says Stunt Racer 64, which is incorrect. Jesse says Ogre Battle 64, which is also incorrect. And Johnny has the correct game with the number 64 in it. This is Bomberman 64, the second attack. Hell yeah, John.
Yeah.
You took my explosion trivia and applied it correctly. Well done, sir.
What the Okay, this is not based upon the game or the discussion. I just want to say that I was going back through my personal memory, which includes a list of rarest N64 games, and apparently number 11 is Donkey Kong Country, and I question like the truthfulness of this list in my memory.
Yeah, your memory might be, it might be a stub. It needs more information. But no, this is Bomberman 64, the second attack. You know, that Bomberman game for the Nintendo 64 that all of us definitely played, right? Like, this is the one we all played.
Oh yeah, I never played the first one. I exclusively played Bomberman 64, the second attack.
Yeah, we're a second attack group around here. Come on. Yeah, no, honestly, I forgot this ever existed. Why would they make two Bomberman 64s?
And then there was another Nintendo 64 Bomberman game, right? Bomberman Hero.
There wasn't there?
Yeah,
okay, I knew it. I have played two Bombermans on Nintendo 64. Okay, further clarification. Why did they make three Bombermans for the Nintendo 64?
And, yeah, why is the third one called the second? Like, I remember being
God
really
damn it.
confused. I remember being really confused by this.
I love the fact that you have played two Bomberman games on the N64 and neither one of them is the second attack.
No, certainly not. I like heroes. I don't like to attack twice. I mean, seriously, why would I play this? No, I honestly, I totally forgot that. So I forgot that both these games exist. I forgot that Bomberman Hero existed and Bomberman 64, the second attack. That's crazy. I mean, seriously, you know, I fancy myself a guy that likes his Bomberman. I play it, you know, I've played it throughout my life, mostly in rental form, like not a owning Bomberman kind of guy.
I mean, I could certainly understand this kind of like passing by because a second Bomberman game does seem kind of silly because every single console ever made has had a Bomberman game. Why would they make more than one?
I mean, it's a fair question. Like, you know, because back in the day, they were like numbering them with a year, like they were going to make them a yearly thing, which seemed really fucking silly. Like, what are you really going to change on Bomberman from like 93 to 94?
Hey, wait.
So,
hey,
you know,
hey, it works for Madden, John. Why can't it work for Bomberman?
I mean, because that's true. We do need to update the rosters and the stats on the Bombers every year. Yeah.
I was going to say, now what's missing what? Is Madden missing more Bomberman, or is Bomberman missing more John Madden?
Yes, Bomberman, it's missing, you know, the incoming class of rookies every year.
John Madden does say boom a lot.
I was just imagining like a regular multiplayer match of Bomberman, but you have John Madden commentating.
Yeah, you know. Whether or not you're laying down your bombs is a good barometer of whether or not you can win a game of Bomberman. Like, thank you,
Boom.
John Madden. Boom. I would also take a game of football, but you're playing as Bomberman. That because he already vaguely resembles a football player. I mean, like they don't really have a face.
He's a good kicker.
Yes, exactly. Oh God, man, Bomberman Rugby would be pretty goddamn dope. Like, would play. Got to offload in time, or the whole scrum explodes. I mean, like, it'd be pretty great. And they could have the references. They could either include real rugby players like rugby legend Jonah Lamu,
I
or
was
they
just
could
about to say you can play as White Bomber, Black Bomber, or Jonah Lamu Bomber.
you can play as All Blacks legend Jonah Lamu. But they couldn't get his rights for the game, so they would have had to change his name to Jonah Bombu, and you'd know it was him.
I can't wait to see the episode art for
He would
this.
truck those motherfuckers so hard. Jonah Bombu.
Jonah Bombu sounds like I served as an executive producer on this game or something. Like, that is a very John Regan move.
Yes, John. Did you not? Now, so the reason that we obviously are choosing this is because as a famous composer, Johnny, you composed this, did you not?
I did, yes. Kuzo Yushiro, which is me, composed this game.
Damn it. Wrong again, Kuzo. Without looking up in our Discord for this request or the Wikipedia page, does anybody know offhand one of the two composers that worked on this game?
Nope. I'm
No.
reading the list and I still don't know any of them.
Oh wow! So actually, there's on Wikipedia there's several credited composers. I'm not giving credit to all 6 of those people. I'm giving credit to the number 1 guy on that list. That's Yasunori Mitsuda. That's right. Our boy Yasunori Mits was composing Bomberman 64 Part 2 (3) for some reason. Why did they get that man to compose this game? I have no idea. For those not in the know on the name Yasunori Mitsuda, Jesse, David, you guys want to fill us in on some Yasunori Mitsuda games?
Hey,
Didn't he work on Chrono Trigger?
Yes, that's correct. The guy who did Chrono Trigger did Bomberman 64 Part 2 for some reason.
John, why did you skip over me filling us in?
Because, Kuzo, I just didn't feel like going back to you so soon. It's, I assume that David and Jesse are the more, the people that would have maybe played an RPG or a game in the last 20 years. So I asked them.
Also, I
Both
do
right.
I do know why you called on me specifically, because he did compose 3 tracks, the opening chapter 1 and the boss battle from Kid Icarus Uprising, aka
correct,
my
David.
choice of the greatest game soundtrack ever.
Yes, exactly. And he's also composed for Xenoblade Chronicles. He did some music for Final Fantasy 15. The man is prolific, mostly in the RPG kind of realm, occasionally action type thing. Not so much in the kickin' bombs puzzle combat genre. So it's an interesting choice for him to get on that soundtrack. And I mean, good on him. It just makes me picture because he had to be hot shit at this point because, excuse me, Yasunori Mitsuda is coming off fucking composing like Chrono Trigger with Uematsu. He's been, working on the Front Mission games, Xenogears. He did music for Mario Party, Chrono Cross. And why did he pick up the phone for Bomberman 64, the second act? Why did anyone call him? I have to imagine
Money?
Hudson Soft was just like, hey, man, I got, we got a lot of, game here with no music. We better get somebody to compose it, and we've got so much money from our earlier games.
We've built a whole advertising campaign around you being the composer of this.
Exactly. We really were counting on the Mitsuda endorsement for Bomberman 64. I guess really, though, more accurately, they were probably just trying to court the guy to be, like Hudson Soft developed this. They also developed Mario Party. So they probably just were like, hey, man, you want to take a little crack at this bomb kicking game we got over here? It's pretty fun. He's like, oh, yeah, man, I could compose Bomberman in my sleep.
See, I love the idea that it was the opposite, that he was just burned out doing a bunch of epic RPGs. And it's like, you know what I'd really like to work on? He went out to lunch and ran into one of the executives from Hudson Soft. It's like, oh, what are you up to? It's like, oh, they want me to work on this sprawling time traveling RPG. It's like, but what I really want to do is score a game about kicking bombs. Buddy,
Yeah.
we should talk.
What I really want to do is just 90 seconds of driving rhythm with a little like tinkly piano on it, something that you're not gonna, I don't know. I really don't want to be making this epic music right now. I just want to, I want a simple game, very straightforward, simple theme for a game. I have a game where you do literally one thing over and over again. I love it. And the boards that I would be composing for, they're the same board, but with different colors. Oh, I can work with that. I can do that so well.
I really just want to compose like some fun, catchy melodies. Oh, really? How many? 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4, give or take a different instrument. And, we'll change the tempo around. Maybe throw, let's see. Do we have an island level, a desert level, a factory level? Cool. Throw just a little extra, let's get a little steel drum in that island. Let's get we got a desert level. Let's give it a vaguely Arabian sound. I like that. And factory level, just throw a little beep boop in that mix. And boom. Bomberman 64 sold. Second Attack done. But yeah, the game's cool, and I want to thank our requester on this one. This one came to us via Discord. This is from Silver Nova. Thank you very much for requesting a game that we haven't used before on the show. We appreciate it when you guys do that. Yeah, no shade towards Kel for their request earlier. Honest mistake. So Johnny, send it over to the calculating computer, man. Kick that bomb.
Calculating computer activated. Computers, beeps,
Oh, sorry, I was checking up on the chat. What was that?
boops. Scoring complete. This game's winner is... John Harrington.
Fuck yeah. A win that makes 0 sense given the scores, but 100% sense given the episode number. Nah, we didn't book this one in advance, fellas. This is just this is how the night went. I was never meant to win episode 187, no matter what the score was. I tell you what. Thank you, John, for pressing the correct button and giving me the win. You're a gentleman and a delightful soundboard operator. You did it. You properly gave me the win, and I thank you for that. Episode 187.
This game's
my
winner
episode.
is. I'm changing it now.
God damn it.
No.
I love how you're so appreciative to Johnny only when he gives you what you want.
Only when he does the things correctly. Boy, howdy do I get angry when he does things wrong. Oh, man. I need to talk about that ulcer I'm developing.
I'm only laughing.
So anyway,
outside.
I got a great theme in mind for next week's episode, inspired by my own hazy actions for tonight's episode. I think it's only right that we do a theme of games that were strictly released in America. No, wait, shit. No. We're going to do the other thing, the thing that we've never done before, a game that tuned first. We're opening up our borders and we're allowing games that were never released in America to be used on the show for this single episode. And then don't ever ask me for anything ever again. It's gonna be a fun episode. Alcahest has inspired me. We must explore other continents. I need to know what games are out there. I need some Pakistan exclusive games. I need games from Africa. I need games released strictly in Antarctica.
Or Canada.
Canadian games. I know that there are some big time Canada only games. I assume there's a lot of hockey games up there that we're just not hearing about. Or like just Tim Horton iPhone based games. All those are fair play. And also Europe and Japan. Those are also fair play on next week's episode of Game That Tune. But, keep it out of America. Nothing American on next week's episode. So thank you so much for listening this week. What a blast we've had. Thank you to everybody watching along live with us. We're live every Wednesday night. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. We're live, or we're in podcast form the following week. Search for us wherever you get your podcasts. Listen, enjoy. We appreciate you guys listening and watching along with us, no matter how you consume us. We love you guys. Thank you to everybody that checked out patreon.com/GameThatTune. It's the home for awesome exclusives. It's the home for GTT gems. It's the home for occasional mixtapes. It's the home for Jesse's Covered Up series. And we got other fun stuff in the works. And you help us keep the lights on over there at YouTube with our 24/7 video game music live stream. So we greatly appreciate you guys checking out Patreon and supporting the show and supporting us in the things that we do. Special thanks to our superfan tier producers. Here we go. Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, XX Chrono XX, Dominic Guy, Kelly all fantastic fellas, all fantastic super fans, and we appreciate that support. The list keeps on growing, so get on that list with them. You want to hear me say your name, give us money. That's how this exchange works. Thank you for the request this week. Thank you, Kelly who initially had request priority because of his status as a patron that was quickly undone when he requested the wrong game. Thank you to Silver Nova for a fantastic request. They both put their requests in our Discord server. Find the link on our website and join us there. Or send us your request, gamethattune@gmail.com. Or hit us up on Twitter. We're there at gamethattune. Or you can find us individually on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at jgangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan JR.
You can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
And you can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
Hell yeah, fellas. So it's my show, my bonus tunes, and I'm going out with that song that proves my point from earlier. This is the theme from Alcahest. Get those requests in for non-USA games, and we'll see you all next week. Peace out, everybody. Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure is copyright 2011 Activision. 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors is copyright 2009 Spike Chunsoft. Alcahest is copyright 1993 HAL Laboratory and Squaresoft. Ys is copyright 1988 Nihon Falcom. Rad Racer is copyright 1988 Squaresoft and Nintendo. Bomberman 64 The Second Attack is copyright 2000 Hudson Soft.